Hey guys, how's it going? For the L939, I didn't see anything up online really about maintenance, but to kind of give you all an idea of how to go about taking hair out of your axles and front wheels, to do it easily, I would take some needle nose pliers and just lightly apply some pressure here at this metal shaft to hold it still, not too tight that you bend it, and just kind of wiggle the tire back and forth and pull them as if you're pulling them apart, and you'll see there's space now being created and the wheel has been removed. This shaft does not come out very easily due to the design at the end here, so don't worry about losing it. It's not coming in or going out very easily. Over time, this will end up ultimately being destroyed because as you wiggle it back and forth, it will finally wallow out, and you'll have to come up with another solution if you can't find some wheels. But there are spare wheels for this unit that you can buy. It's not like you can't find them, and if they become discontinued, you'll be able to always find another solution, because there are multiple cars, RC units out there like this that have a wheelbase and size of this diameter. You just measure it and do some cross-referencing. Now, you'll want to be able to pull the hair off, but sometimes it isn't that easy, and I would just take some scissors and kind of rest the tip of them there and just kind of go back and forth and cut the hair, and it'll make it a little bit easier to remove it. I wouldn't be taking the scissors and kind of sliding it across this, because it would ultimately act as a file and you'll be filing this little shaft down. And I do believe when you buy the wheels, you do get some extra shafts for the front axle, but they do make spare parts for all of these units. To put the tire back on, you'll just take it and put it back here. I would hold your finger on the circular end back here and just kind of apply as much pressure as you can. I don't believe it can be too tight, but you never know. Always make sure you spin the wheel to check, and you want to make sure that there isn't a whole lot of play in it. It'll just help with the steering. The less play you have in it, the better your steering will be. But you want to make sure that your wheel's on there good enough that it's not just going to come off whenever you're cruising down the road. And you can improve the rear play as well, because you can see this is this rear axle has these plastic bushings here that are fixed straight to the axle, and if you push them out, so you pushed it out like that and then glued it to the motor mount case here, it would ultimately, once it dried, there wouldn't be no more play, and that would help with your steering as well and going straight. Help reduce a lot of corrections that will be needed, and will make it harder for you to maintain it too. All you really want to do is take these two screws out. You're going to pop a seal here. And just let everything hang. All of this will affect the performance of the axle. So yeah, you kind of want to get it as clean as possible. Doesn't have to be perfect. If you want to spray it and get rid of all this grease, you can always repack it with more grease. Yeah, there should be grease in there. You can see that there's grease in there. You want to replace this motor. It's a 6mm. It looks like it's a 6mm motor. I'm pretty sure it is. You can find replacement motors online with that gear on it, or you can take this gear off and try and push it onto another motor if you want to upgrade to a different kV and RPM range. You can replace the motor. It's not that big of an issue. Just got to take this all apart and solder in the new one. Or if you don't want to take it apart, you could always cut these wires off and just place them onto the new one. Just make sure you've got the polarity correct. I would then lightly place this back in here. Line these bushings back up. This cover back on. Make sure you snap it all back into alignment. I like to back seat my screws. Even if it feels like I'm lining it up, just backseat it so you hear that. Then you know it's back. Go in, don't tighten too hard. Just nice snug fit. Same thing with this one. Not too tight. So yeah. Let's check from the top. Make sure that everything is in order. Looks like it's all lined up. Everything on the case is okay. These two screws back here, there's one right there and there's one in front of it. Those are the screws that are going to be for disassembling where the gears are, so don't worry about those falling out when you're taking this apart. Yeah, that seems to be it. For battery mods and FPV mods and other things like that, please visit my channel, check my stuff out. I'll probably get 2 hours of runtime off of this car with the 1200 milliamp battery. But normally I just run 550 to 600 milliamp batteries. I get about a half hour runtime. Battery just slips in down here. There's a 450 milliamp. I get about a half hour runtime off of it too. And it just presses up on the top here of the chassis at the right angle. So it's a nice snug fit. Really takes a lot for it to move. And then I just plug this bad boy in. Little cooling fan. My VTX camera, headlight. The cooling fan is a little heavy. I don't normally do a whole bunch of racing where I'm just normally messing around with this, and the cooling fan makes it a little heavy when you're taking a left turn, so you like to roll over. And I made a counterweight for this side to put in this kind of dip, and it's shaped to it. I just haven't put it on yet and tested it out. Kind of got used to it really, so learned how to really turn and what not to do. So I didn't really feel like it was really necessary at this point. I don't like this little roll thing here, but I put it on here just because I had the fan, and I made a little roll cage for my camera here out of a paper clip and a little piece of metal rod that I had lying around. And I made another one out of some crochet hooks, and I'm about to make another one for another unit, and it'll be made out of aluminum crochet hooks too, so check back on that video and it'll be uploaded here in a little while. Otherwise, happy RCing, man. Girls, guys, whoever you are, it don't matter.